Here we go. We are now officially a step one apprentice, going on step two, done 2 classes. It is officially 1 year, the date of upload. Here we go. So, update from last video. Got to a new job, was at new job, started new job. New job's foreman got released from that job site. Then I had to move. Drama. All right, I'm just gonna start with the story because I don't know where to begin. So I started a job far out, really far out, and I got assigned somewhere. And where I got assigned, it was $100 per day per diem. As a couple of weeks went on, I realized that I can't keep doing this hotel thing. I'm just throwing the money away. So I decided to buy a fifth wheel. I have a dually already. It just kind of made sense. Bought a fifth wheel. The first week I'm out here with my fifth wheel, my foreman gets into it with the other foreman, and behind closed doors, I didn't know this at the time, he was not allowed to come back to this specific job site. And then I got transported to a different job site. And so while I'm at this other job site, which I was still getting per diem because it was still kind of far out, but it wasn't as much. And also my trailer was here. I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. I don't know why, because, I'm an apprentice. So as that's going on, I'm asking that foreman, hey, when are we going back out there? I got my fifth wheel out there. This is the job that I got hired for. What's going on? And he tells me, we're never going back out there. Don't worry about it. And I'm completely confused. So time goes on. He and we get into it. He makes me work through lunch. First, we had an agreement. If I work through lunch, we leave early. And then that kind of went out the window. We would work through lunch, but not leave early. And he never paid me double time working through lunch. So I said, I was like, I'm never going to work through lunch ever again. And that was the day that, it went downhill. So I think literally the next day, I was dumping trucks and grade checking at the same time. And the inspector came through. Important lesson. If an inspector or anybody of any importance comes and asks you something, send them to your foreman. Don't answer. Do not answer. It's not worth it. Send them to your foreman. I wish somebody would have told me. My life would have been way better. So, inspector comes, asks me, hey, has this been tested? I'm like, no, this has not been tested. I've been here all day. He's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm just curious. I'm going to go ask your foreman. Ask my foreman. My foreman says, yeah, it's been tested. Like, all right, cool. Well, let me just double check. It fails. He goes down again. It tests it again. It fails. He goes down again. He tests it. It fails again. So at this point, my inspector's upset because he feels like he was lied to. My foreman's, I didn't know this at the time, said that I told him that it was tested and it was done. And then the inspector leaves. I didn't know this was even going on. My foreman calls the VA. The VA comes out. VA investigates. He asks me, hey, is there anything kind of going on? And I don't know what is going on. I find out later that my foreman told the inspector that, like I just said, that I told him that it was done and it wasn't done, and then he was covering his butt. Long story short, I spoke to the powers that be. They were kind enough and human enough to recognize that I agreed to do this job far out, and they allowed me to come back. On the lighter note, when I came out here, got a brand new foreman. This guy is top notch. I wish I could say his name because, like I said, I'm trying to keep it private, but he's top notch and he's someone you kind of aspire to be. If you get a good foreman, try to stay with them. I don't know. That's all I can say. So anyway, my new foreman, he's a great checker by trade. And he's actually really good on equipment. And so, I'm great checking for him, and everything is going really well. And I'm learning a lot. I've been putting in so many hours. One day I'm going to put a collage up of, all the things that I've been doing. I take photos and stuff all the time. Everything's going good. I cannot complain, not even a little bit. So now, now that's kind of out of the way, about 5 minutes and 30 seconds of BS. Um, I want to burst bubbles that you may have pre-notions in your head. So, I'm under the influence that you're an operator. Operators don't shovel unless it's for the equipment, and operators don't da da da, and operate da da da, and da da da. Officially, 100%. Officially, everything you've heard, officially. If you called your BA rep, they will come out, things will be done about it. Unofficially, and to be honest, professionally, it's not really the case. Um, so where I'm at, I do shovel. Not all the time, and not by myself, more importantly. My foreman's out there right next to me shoveling, which really helps put things in perspective. Sometimes you don't have enough laborers to do what needs to be done. So sometimes you're just going to have to get out the machine and shovel. I kind of, I won't say like it, that's a stretch, but I appreciate it because one, you have the better understanding of how much material a machine can move, and it just helps grasp the bigger picture of kind of what's going on. And I feel a lot more part of the team. I feel a lot more connected to what's going on. We're rebuilding a bridge. I can say that. Yeah, we're rebuilding a bridge, and there's a part of the abutment, and you can't get a machine back there, so you have to kind of do hand grading by hand, not with a machine. So you have to get out there and you're shoveling. It's 110, 115 degrees. It's humid because it rained a couple days ago, but you're getting the job done. You have a greater appreciation, especially for laborers. I mean, I now, if I can help my laborer, I will, because it is brutal what they kind of go through. I think I may have spoken not as favorably about laborers before. I want to retract some of those statements. Um, I can understand why they may not like operators. Where a super quick example, and then I'll go back on task, where as an operator, let's say they ask you to dump something somewhere and you're off by 2 feet, a foot. That 1 foot may take them 10 to 15 minutes to move from there to there. I understand why they may not like us all the time. Greater appreciation. I really do. Um, Honestly, things are kind of going really good. Let's see. So there is an update. Talked about what I'm doing. Money. Everybody wants to know money. All right. So right now I'm at $40.66 an hour. I get $100 per diem. I work 40. I work 4 10s, which is 2 hours of overtime every day. Which my checks, they come out with the per diem I bring home $1,500 every week, which is insane to think about. I chose to spend my per diem on a fifth wheel, even though I know this job is going to end relatively soon. I think I only have like 4 more months, but I always wanted a fifth wheel. And then also two, for me personally, everyone has their own thing. So my wife, she works, and we live in a relatively nice neighborhood. And for her and I, it was more important to maximize my earning potential than it was to be closer to home for now, because our daughter and my wife's pregnant again, soon to be child, they're young, and it's hard on my wife, and she's amazing. They won't quite remember me not being there now. So for her and I, it just made more sense for me to up, uh, requests to get further out jobs that pay per diem that I'm gone. So right now I'm almost 300 miles away from my family, but because I get $100 a day extra per diem, I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting 2 hours of overtime every single day. My checks are closer, air quotes, to what a journeyman will make. And so I'm able to pay for a nanny, pay for majority of the bills, pay for everything. And it's been really nice, honestly. And so when I get home Thursday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I leave Sunday, I take over for my daughter and then also my soon to be kid, new kid, redacted. My wife doesn't want to say the gender. If I did, I hope I didn't, whatever. Anyway, and I just try to help out as much as possible. This this job, which blows my mind, like I said, when this is uploaded, it'll be the anniversary of when I've been in the union officially, not just at the training site, but actually working. In 1 year's time, I was able to pay off all my debt. Now, granted, my financial situation is a little bit different than most people. Um, I have an income. I already had an income property coming into this. My wife works and I get like a military retirement. So my situation is just a little bit different than other people's. I will concede that. But making $1,500 a week starting off, it's just kind of hard to beat. I have been able to, like I said, I bought this fifth wheel trailer, brand new. Um, uh, it's been nice. My wife comes out here with our daughter. It's comfortable. It has two ACs. It's hot. It's 113 degrees outside right now. Probably like 80 degrees in the living room portion. In the bedroom, it's like 70, and it gets to like 64 at night. So it's more than comfortable. I bought a used C6 Corvette. I know I'm mentioning a bunch of material things. I really want to hit on that I've been able to take care of my family. Like I said, I send money home. I'm able to pay for the nanny literally all my own. I've been able to I feel better. I was extremely anxious, kind of going into this job, but I can't even express how big of a blessing this has been. I really enjoy what I do. We build roads, man. We build roads. We build bridges. We build the infrastructure. It's amazing. Um, I've jumped all over the place, and I really do apologize. But if I guess some tidbits that I could add and give at the end, I've recorded this like 4 or 5 times, so excuse me if it seems jumbled. I probably can't remember if I did or didn't talk about something. Um, Remember mistakes that you make at the job site. You make them, you learn from them, you move on. Don't live in it. Don't stay in it. Don't revisit it. Learn it, move on. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Um, Ask questions. Ask all the questions. Measure twice, cut one. No, fuck that. Measure 3 times, cut once. I have rarely made mistakes, knock on wood. Not that I'm perfect, but I ask so many questions where I cannot tell you where they've asked me to do something. I'm 98% sure that they wanted me to do something some way, but that 2% is bugging me. I confirm it, and I was way off, and I would have caused headaches, and we would have had to redo something. And for the first time, honestly, in the last month, I've kind of gotten to this place where we show up to work. I'm the grade checker. I go get the GPS equipment. I kind of talk to my foreman. We sign stuff. We do stuff. He gives me a general idea of what we're doing for the week. We get it done. I work with the other operator. I work with the laborer. We it's just it's an ebb and flow, and it's been really nice. And I would say, one, I pay attention, but probably the most important thing is I ask questions. I ask, why are we doing it this way? Why don't we do it this way? How come this way doesn't work? And so now, as I'm kind of getting a leash, if you will, of my foreman kind of letting me kind of give me a general idea of what needs to be done, and then we kind of carry it out, is I feel, could be wrong, I feel that because I've asked enough questions of how not to do something, where when he gives me a general task, I already know how it needs to be done and why it needs to be done. And and I guess it's different from foreman to foreman, but my foreman, he's really hits big on safety. So if he wants us to dig something, we already know if it's over 5 feet, it needs to be sloped, and if we're where the spoils, they need to be, and so my point is, ask questions. It'll make your life a lot easier. And also to talk to your coworkers. I've kind of tried different things going to different companies. Like I kept to myself, like two of the other four companies that I went to, and it kind of made the day longer. Whenever I would go on lunch, I would go to my car or I would sit on the machine and I wouldn't talk to anybody. And it makes the day a lot longer. Not a little bit, a lot longer. If you are a social person. I'm not saying that you have to be a social butterfly, but it has made life a little bit easier, not holding all my cards in. I will say, definitely just remember, if you ask an opinion and someone gives you an opinion, you ask for it. Don't take it personal. And so, I think I mentioned it on my second video about keeping your cards close. It does kind of go group to group, person to person. The first group that I was with, they were, I don't know, a little bit more salty, if you will. And so when I told them that I wanted to be a foreman, they kind of use that every excuse that they can to make me, I don't know, bleed, if you will. Versus here, my goal is definitely a change. I want to be an owner operator. I want to operate a blade. I think it's the most amazing machine ever, and I want to make some real money. I Anyway, I'll talk about that more. But I've talked about that as much as I can now, to the project engineer, to the super, to my foreman, to the carpenter super. I don't care. Anybody that'll listen, I tell them I want to be an owner operator. I want to operate the blade. Every time the blade is brought up, I'm like, I want to be on the blade. Put me on the blade. Put me on the blade. And they're like, apprentices don't be put on blades. Whatever. I just keep bringing it up because at some point it's gonna have to happen. All right, so we're coming up on 18 minutes. I feel like I've talked enough. I don't even know what I really hit on because, like I said, I've re-recorded this video like 8 times because I got to keep things confidential, and I don't want Local 12 or the company that I work for to come back and say, "Hey, this person said some unsavory, or good or bad, or whatever things." So I think that's going to wrap things up. As I think about it, I feel like I didn't really talk about anything. Oh, I've completed 2 classes. I did the intro to the union, and I've done grade checking, which, if you're going to be a grade checker, ooh, that's something that I want to hit on. I'm so glad I just remembered. So there is an apprentice that I'm in the apprenticeship with that was gung ho on being a crane operator. Well, we're a year into our apprenticeship. That means 1/3 of it's done. It's gone. You can't get it back. When you're in the apprenticeship, they give you a lot of leadway. They let you try. They, for the most part, try to let you get on different pieces of equipment. When you're on the A list or C list, you don't do a job, you're fired. They kick you out. They don't care. They really don't. So my buddy, he really thought that he wanted to be a crane operator. He did it for about a year. He was an oiler on and off on cranes, kind of being around cranes, seeing what that's all about. Kind of decided that he didn't want to do it, and he didn't really say it, but my takeaway from it was that he wasted a year. He didn't say it. My takeaway. It's one third of your apprenticeship is gone. I have hundreds of hours on everything except for the excavator. I don't care for the excavator, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I want to be a blade operator. But I've been on the front loader, on the scraper, on the roller, on different types of scrapers and different type of sheep foots, and I've done it. I've done grade checking, regular grade checking, and GPS grade checking. I feel that for whatever reason, if my apprenticeship stopped short, I could at least hold on to a job. Versus, I feel like him, depending on if he had experience going in, he may or may not be able to hold on to a job. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to upload something for my 1 year anniversary. I'm sorry if it felt very unfocused. I've been up since 1:30, 1:25 a.m. It is 3:34 p.m. I am exhausted. I start work at 3 a.m., but it's nice to kind of beat the heat. So, if any questions, please ask, like, and subscribe. Probably should have said that in the beginning. Whatever. And if you want me to upload something, and talk about anything, excluding how I studied on the test, I already did that video. It's my first video. I would say it's here, but I'm not going to edit the video to make the thing pop up. I don't have the time. I'm a blue collar worker. I work for a living. You guys have a good one.